He was one of Sweden's top police chiefs, a man trusted to protect women and uphold the law. But behind that image, he was secretly exploiting the very people he claimed to protect. He spoke against gender violence, earning a reputation so strong that people called him Captain Skirt. To the public, he was a hero. But everything began to fall apart when his name appeared in a hidden network. What investigators later uncovered was far darker. The man they were tracking wasn't hiding from the system. He was part of it. This is the case of Göran Lindberg. Göran Lindberg was born on April 25, 1946, in Uppsala, Sweden. He built a long career in law enforcement after earning a law degree in 1972. There is not much publicly available information about his early life, family, or children, which is common for many police officials. Over the years, he rose through the ranks. From 1997 to 2006, he served as police commissioner of Uppsala County. During this time, he supported policing approaches focused on crimes involving exploitation and violence against women, aligning with Sweden's broader efforts in this area. In 1999, he was a proponent of the Sex Purchase Act, supporting a law that criminalized buying sex and aimed to reduce exploitation. His stance placed him publicly on the side of policies designed to protect women. Since 2006, he had been working as a gender equality advisor within the National Police. In this role, he was involved in discussions and internal efforts around how police handled cases such as domestic violence and sexual offenses. He contributed to shaping gender-focused policing approaches. In his professional life, he was known as a disciplined officer. He was sometimes called Captain Clanning, which means Captain Skirt, a title he embraced as a symbol of his feminist credentials. To the public, he appeared to be a responsible and trusted figure. At that time, nothing about his image suggested that anything was wrong. In July 2009, a 60-year-old millionaire was found dead in Bredäng, a suburb of Stockholm, after falling from a high balcony. As police investigated his life, they uncovered a disturbing truth. He was a pimp who ran a secret prostitution network for wealthy men. He would arrange for women to be delivered to groups of clients, often for violent and degrading encounters. On the day he died, he was expecting a teenage girl. Instead, a group of men arrived and attacked him brutally. During the chaos, he either fell, jumped, or was pushed from the balcony. Over the next few weeks, detectives questioned witnesses and tracked down those involved, eventually identifying and arresting the attackers responsible for the assault. The men were caught and convicted, but no one was charged with murder. Meanwhile, investigators seized the millionaire's computer and phone, expecting to find links to low-level criminals. Instead, they uncovered names of powerful, well-known men. One name stood out: Göran Lindberg. The discovery shocked them. A man who had once trained police officers on handling sex crimes was now appearing in the records of a secret sex network, not just as a contact, but as an active participant in the exploitation of women, with multiple accounts linking him to abuse. The Stockholm police launched a covert investigation. For 6 months, they tracked his movements, monitored his car, and listened to his calls. The surveillance of Göran Lindberg, led by Detective Inspector Jonas Troll, became one of the most sensitive operations in Sweden. The team had to work in complete secrecy. If Lindberg became suspicious, he could have used his position to interfere or destroy evidence. The most significant challenge for the task force was the moral burden of letting certain crimes occur. Because he was such a high-profile figure, the level of proof needed in court was extremely high. Investigators could not act on suspicion alone. They needed clear, repeated evidence that would stand up legally. This required the team to witness several sexual transactions instead of stepping in immediately, even when it was difficult to watch. Surveillance teams monitored a house in Stockholm, where Lindberg met a woman. Using covert observation, they documented his behavior inside. According to official reports, Lindberg was caught on video, sexually assaulting and physically abusing the woman over an extended period. When the woman later left the house, officers noted visible injuries and damage to her clothing, which became key evidence. Over the next 2 weeks, surveillance continued without Lindberg's knowledge. Investigators recorded multiple similar incidents, all following the same pattern. Detective Troll later explained that the crimes they were documenting were among the most serious they had ever seen, especially from someone in such a powerful position. January 25, 2010, Lindberg was driving to the city of Falun to meet a 14-year-old girl at a hotel. He didn't know that the girl was actually a trap set by the police. When he arrived, he didn't see the officers hiding in the shadows. Suddenly, police cars surrounded him. They pulled him out of his car. Lindberg was calm. He didn't fight back. He looked like a man who thought he could talk his way out of anything. But then, the police opened his trunk and found Viagra pills, leather whips, handcuffs, and a blindfold, items associated with abuse. Lindberg was caught in the act. All the evidence was seized, and he was handcuffed. At that moment, the captain skirt everyone loved was gone. All that was left was a predator in handcuffs. As news of Lindberg's arrest spread, it triggered widespread shock and outrage across Sweden. Many people struggled to process what had just been revealed. Several of Lindberg's victims were identified and interviewed, though many were hesitant to come forward. A 17-year-old testified that he had restrained and sexually assaulted her, while another described being lured under false pretenses. Their accounts supported the evidence gathered during surveillance. The police found Göran Lindberg's DNA on victims' clothing. Investigators also seized computers and phones from his home and office, uncovering chat logs arranging sexual encounters, including with minors, and records of payments for sexual services. Lindberg's trial took place in the summer of 2010. Because of the sensitive nature of the case and the involvement of minors, most proceedings were held behind closed doors. Prosecutors presented victim statements, photographs, surveillance footage, and seized items. Lindberg admitted only to purchasing sex, which is illegal in Sweden, and denied the other allegations. But the evidence was strong. The charges included 23 counts: aggravated rape, sexual coercion, pimping, and purchasing sexual services, including the attempted rape of a child. He was also found guilty of using violence and threats to force women into sex. In the end, Lindberg was convicted and sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. The court also ordered him to pay about 300,000 kronor to his victims as compensation. Göran Lindberg was sent to Saltvik prison, one of the toughest prisons in Sweden. He was released in 2014 after serving about 4 years. In Sweden, prisoners can be released after serving roughly 2/3 of their sentence under supervised conditions. He lost his job, his reputation, and his freedom. After his release, he has largely stayed out of the public spotlight. The man, who once presented himself as a defender of women, is now remembered as one of the most notorious betrayals of the badge. For the victims, the trial provided some closure, but also lifelong scars. The known victims ranged from a 14-year-old to adult women. The names of most victims are not public, but they were awarded significant compensation. Göran Lindberg's case remains one of Sweden's biggest police scandals. He was one of the highest-ranking police officials ever convicted of such crimes in Sweden. While researching this case, the details shook me to the core. How could a man, once seen as a defender against sexual crimes, be a repeat predator himself? He was known for lecturing female recruits on how to protect themselves from sexual violence, and was even considered a top candidate for National Police Commissioner, the highest police rank in the country. The case led to internal reviews. Some members of Uppsala's police board even called for a truth commission to investigate whether Lindberg had abused his power during his tenure. However, the evidence presented at trial was considered sufficient, and no new criminal convictions followed. Lindberg has spoken to the media only rarely, always refusing to discuss the details. Do you think the investigation handled this the right way? Was justice truly served? Comment your thoughts below. For more true crime cases, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.